All right, Taurus, happy October. I am happy that you are here with me. This is Shaman Dr. Freyson with your reading for October. This is the astronumerology reading. This is for the Taurus rising sign. And I know some of you who say, well, I'm not a Taurus rising. You may not know if you're a Taurus rising, but the information fits you. I would say go check your chart. Yes, you can be a Taurus sun and a Taurus rising. That does happen. Not always, but it does. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is pull a card. And I guess we're going to pull this one at the top. And this is a lesson card. And this is adversity. So I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Oh, my Taurus, I know you guys are not so good with accepting challenges because you like stability. And challenges means that there's not as much stability. Well, we are in October, which October is a month of change and newness, new beginnings, because that's the one energy. It's the 10 energy, but it's the one energy. The 10 energy is normally associated with getting that which you want, meaning obtaining some goal. But the downside is that sometimes people haven't spent the 9 months prior doing the work, and therefore they cannot reap the rewards. So you will reap the rewards of whatever action you took during the previous 9 months. Let's hope that during the previous 9 months, you put some action in place towards success and that you will reap success. But this card says you might have a little bit of adversity and you may have to overcome it. The adversity is a lesson. So you take the lesson and you move forward with life. Okay. Let's not dwell on it and let it throw off all of our plans. Now, there's a moon in Pisces, which I know Taurus does not do well with the moon in Pisces because Taurus likes stability, Taurus likes plans. And sometimes the moon in Pisces means it's going to shake up your plans and cause you to take rest when you don't want to take rest. You might get sick, like a cold or something, or some minor thing that causes you to have to rest an extra day and call out from work, which is not normally aligning with who the Taurus is as a whole, right? This would mean that you need to be flexible. You have to be flexible to embrace the change that is upon you. Okay. Let's look at the energies that are going to be showing up for you. Taurus rising means that Taurus is in your first house, and all the other signs follow after that. We know the one energy impacts the first house and it impacts the 10th house the most, especially since this is the 10th month. For you, your 10th house just so happens to have that Aquarius energy there. And Aquarius energy is an energy of getting things done, but it's like I want to get things done with my people, with my team. It's a hard worker, which Taurus likes the hard working energy, right? Taurus gets along well with that because Taurus is a hard working energy building for the home, laying a foundation. So that part is good for you because you have someone that wants to get things done. The thing is that the Aquarius is also the water barrier, right? So the Aquarius is carrying some emotional baggage, and therefore that emotional baggage might not be as good for getting things done during this month. So it might cause a little bit of adversity for you. So you really have to pay attention to your emotions, keep them in check. You also have to pay attention to releasing things from the past so that you can move forward in the present. If you're at your job or wherever you work and someone is, irritating you, don't be bullish. Okay. Take a deep breath, count to 10, go outside, go for a walk, evaluate what you have to say, what you would like to say, and how to say it before you say it. Okay. All right, Taurus, let's look at some of the other energies that are going to be impacting you this month because we have an energy that is moving and it impacts everyone, right? So it just impacts us all differently. So let's see what energy is moving towards your 10th house. Um, Natally, remember the Aquarius is there, but that doesn't mean Aquarius is there right now. But right now, you do have some Saturn energy, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, right? So you do have some Saturn energy that's going to float past your 10th house, which Saturn is a worker bee. Saturn is the hard worker. Saturn is the old man that has put time in. and made a plan and stuck to it. Taurus actually likes to make a plan, stick to it, get things done. So in your career sector, this energy is favorable because it's going to advance your career or help you make it through this month. Again, we know as a whole, there's going to be some governmental things taking place. So if you're working in the government, perhaps your plans that you have already made will allow you to endure the shutdown. You will not be negatively impacted because perhaps you have money saved up, you have bills paid up, you have appropriate communication. The downside is if you have not planned, then this energy is going to come back to bite you, right? So depending on which side you're sitting on, if you are a typical Taurus to where you do like to be prepared, then you would be ready for this and you will get through this with just a little bit of frustration. Okay. Not like some people of losing your house. Now, there is some energy that's coming up in that 10th house sector, which means more communication may come. You might see people trying to reduce hours in order to bring you back to work, or pay raises may not be given that people thought they were going to get. That seems to be a focus for you during this season. You also have the other side of your home, which is extremely important to you, and the foundation there and what you consider your beautiful, peaceful abode is being disrupted a little bit. And it's being disrupted with some fiery energy. That's some conflict, right? You already have the Leo kind of energy in your house, but that goes in line with the bullish nature, the lion, that you're the king of the castle. And right now, you might have some conflicts, especially if you're having some struggles in your career that might be spilling over into your home. And you might have some conflicts with whatever that home situation is. Again, how do you overcome that? You use your words, you communicate with love, you're very expressive. This is a time to focus on love and then to explain those parts of yourselves that don't necessarily feel worthy of being loved at this time because of whatever situation you have going on. So that is going to be the focus on that fourth house and that 10th house. And you can navigate it, you can get past it, but it's going to take some active communication, right? And when you find information out, you have to share it when you find it out, okay? Because apparently you're going to get some more news that's going to be impactful to your home life, and you need to share that with the people that it actually impacts. All righty, so let's continue on. This energy that caught me for you, it's going to be in your 12th house, which is the 12th house is the endings, the death, right? The place where you sleep. So it can be your bedroom. It could be, if you work in a prison system, maybe you're a correctional guard because that's a good job for a Taurus rising, maybe something like that. There's some crosshairs, crossfiery type energy there in that sector. If you work in a correctional institution, that would be seen like a prison break or an attempted prison break or something to where there's a secret in that environment. Or if you work in an institution like a school, like someone attempt to come in and do some harm, because we do have the Mars and the Mercury together and showing that in the school system more of that same kind of young person coming in wanting to disrupt the school. You may be involved in that directly. Prepare for that. If you work in a school system or a prison system, this can definitely impact you more so. And this is around the 8th of the month. Um, I'm gonna have to make it a little bigger there. All right. So the 8th of the month. So remember 3 days when I tell you all my time. So the 8th, so that could be the 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere around there. It's where that energy hits you kind of hard. And it's a crosshairs kind of energy, which means crossfires, right? So that could be, firing and you're kind of in between wherever this action is going. So you can get caught up in whatever the action is. prepare for it and you can avoid that kind of situation. Remember, that's what we do with the energy. We see the energy, and whereas you see some people are directly hit by the energy, not everyone is hit by the energy. If you're aware of the energy, you can prepare to, deal with it accordingly. All right. So then we continue to move. And then remember the fourth and the 10th house, so much activity in those two areas for you the entire month, especially the week that 8th, ninth, 10th. A lot of activity in those areas, a lot of hidden information, a lot of explosiveness, arguments, female energy happening in the career house. Do you have female? Maybe your boss is a male, but the female energy is the one that's there's something communicating with the female, but it looks like the boss is more of a masculine energy. It could be a female who presents masculine, but there's some conflict with that relationship that's taking place the 11th or so. Um, and then on the other side of it, looks like, are you trying to go back to school, or you want to go back to school, or you have children in school, you have young children in school, and the scales of justice are here. So are they going to school for law or something of that nature, to where they're going to need your assistance? Could be financial assistance, could just be guidance, paralegal, something. They're trying to figure out what they're doing, or maybe they're going to tell you about it at this particular time, or maybe you already know about it, that they're interested in that area, but that a discussion is forthcoming. That is the 11th. Now, that is a really specific thing for Taurus energy. So I don't expect that to be for everyone, but that's for somebody very specific, someone whose child is actually interested in going into something that deals with justice. They could be going into law enforcement, or, something dealing with justice. Okay. Dispatchers deal with law enforcement, something like it, but it's that kind of energy. And then the energy kind of remains the same until we move a little bit. You get a little bit of a break starting the 20th and the 21st. That energy that you see that was all heavy into your career and your home takes a little bit of a shift. So that little bit of a shift gives you a tiny bit of a break. And then you're going to be focused on, looks like you're in the preparation mode. Maybe you looks like you're adding a new technological advance to your preparation for the afterlife. So maybe you're online doing a will or something to that effect, or insurance, or researching it at the end of the month for whatever reason that becomes a focus, it seems. Preparation for the end. Uh, that's there. And then let's go check out anything else for you. Again, happening with most people at the end of the month, health crises are coming up. These health crises are coming up, meaning that you need to pay attention to your health. You need to go a competition, anything. It could be a grieving time, a major loss, anxiety. Your diet might need to be changed or something to that effect. Um, Stomach, intestine problems could be a situation, but some type of person that's against you, something that's against you. So it can be a person that's against you, or a health incident that's against you, or something to that effect, coming up. But specifically for you, that energy could be an accident in water, could be an accident or something. You could have some kidneys, some chest, something long, but something dealing with water. So I would be careful if you have any water activities coming up. Make sure you be safe out there, because you could have some type of incident occur while you're in water at the end of the month. And then let's move forward. By the time we get to the last day, that K2 Rahu energy aligning each other. Last of the month, of course, I told you there's a lot of violence going on right now in the world. Um, a lot of that energy is happening. A little crosshair energy comes up again. So I would pay attention to that the last week of October to make sure that you're not caught in the crosshairs of anything. Let's look at this is not a good time for marriage nor attending um, ceremonies. So if you have any pending ceremony, I would try to avoid that. That could be where the accident occurs or the that type of energy occurs. Like um, sometimes people have said that the best way I can look at this is explain this to you is that Left Eye, the rapper from the group TLC, before her passing, she had a story where she said there was an accident, and when the accident occurred, like her name was Lisa Lopez, and there was a child that was involved who was actually killed during that time, and she felt that energy was after her. It's like it was just missing her. And there's other stories like that where people are like the energy missed them. I'm not going to talk about a certain movie out there, but this is that feeling is that, there's some might you might go to the wedding or that event and then there's an energy there that gets you, but you might leave and then you're like, hey, something happened at that event. And if you had been there, it would have been you. So always better to be safe than sorry. So that's the end of the reading for you, Taurus rising. If you like it, give a thumbs up, leave a comment if it resonates you, especially for some of the specific stuff. I am doing personal readings right now, but I just started something. I'm offering a one question reading, the shamanic one question reading, where you guys can reach out to me and I will answer just one question, one flat rate, no chart review or any of that stuff. You don't give me your date of birth or anything. You can tell me your month and day or whatever information you want to give me, and I will answer the question. Because honestly, I don't need all your information to answer the questions, but you know, I'll answer it. So, all right, that's it. Have a good one.